Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's audible.
Yeah, okay. Please turn off your mic. So, last class we were discussing about the default EPS bearer. So we have explained the concept about the default EPS bearer and dedicated EPS bearer. So we have discussed signaling radio bearer, data radio bearer, and the in the information transmission. For that, additional bearer is required, that is called the dedicated bearer. Next, we will see about the LT channels. Because if you see the information flow from higher layer to lower layer, already I said there are different types of bearers and channels which will carry the information from higher layer to lower layer. So now we'll see what are the different types of LT channels. So there are three types of LT channels. First one, logical channel. Second one, dedicated bearers within same concept. I said like whatever the additional bearer, dedicated bearer means if you have to transmit the more data, more volume of data, then the I said last like a PDN gateway will allocate the additional bearer that is called the dedicated bearer. When PDN gateway allocates, okay, I'll tell you one more time. Additional bearer. These bearers are called dedicated bearer. Means along with the default EPS bearer means once the default EPS bearer has allocated, again I'm repeating. So first of all I said once your UE will connect it to the PDN gateway means your end-to-end session will be established. So to transmit your end-to-end informations, first of all default EPS bearer will be allocated. Then on the top of default EPS bearer means once the additional bearer is required, suppose as I said last class, right now suppose you're using the initially gmail.com, so PDN gateway allocate the already your mobile has attached with the network, so by default you get the default APS bearer once the attached procedure will be completed. So then PDN gateway will understand, okay, this default APS bearer is enough to carry this small amount of traffic, depends upon the different QCIs. But once a user will start to track to use live streaming, playing live online game, so again your QS parameter will has to be either upgraded, but here upgradation is also not required. Why? Because you have only default APS bearer. So definitely first of all you need one dedicated bearer, minimum one. If you want to use this live streaming kind of services where it's required the higher QS, so PDN gateway allocate here one dedicated bearer. So now what is the situations? You have one default APS bearer that is compulsory, allocated for each user once you complete the attached procedure. Now depends upon your different types of services and QS parameter. Network means PDN gateway will allocate the dedicated bearer. Suppose, for example, I'm talking about say UE1. So this default TPS bearer is carrying your browsing services, for example. This dedicated bearer is carrying your live streaming services. Say, for example, this D1, when the PDN gateway is allocated for the UE, this D1 having right now say QCI 4, for example, quality of service class identifier 4 has allocated to the dedicated bearer 1. Now, after some time, along with the live streaming, suppose you want to use the playing live online game. So here it's a PDN gateway, depends upon their load. They have to decide whether option 1, either upgrade this existing dedicated bearer. Upgrade means now it is allocated to you with the QCI 4. So it has to upgrade it, maybe QCI 3, QCI 2. So either they will upgrade the existing dedicated bearer QS, or for this services maybe allocate one more additional dedicated bearer. So say suppose it's allocating one more dedicated bearer, say it's a D2. So it's possible that a user may have more than one dedicated bearer, or maybe no dedicated bearer at all. Because suppose initially you get the default APS bearer, this is carrying your right now your text mail browsing informations. So then only you have default APS bearer, no dedicated bearer required. Depends upon your amount of data, depends upon your QS parameters, additional bearer is required, but default is compulsory. Now you understand one thing. Say with this UE1, last class, if you remember, I said each UE will have only one this is PDP's protocol. PD is your network element. Are it clear? PDP is protocol, but PDN is your network element. So now suppose your UE1, as I said last class, UE will communicate with 3 PDN types: internet, corporate, VPN, and the IMS. This is the possibility. I said there are 3 types of PDN. So depends upon your operator service provider. Your UE may communicate with one PDN types, maybe more than one PDN types, maybe all three PDN types. It's possible that there are three PDN types in LT, as I said during the network architecture. So what I'm saying, when your UE will attach with one PDN, they will have one default EPS bearer per PDN. Means when UE is connected with internet, it will have one default EPS bearer. Here one default EPS bearer. When corporate VPN, IMS one default EPS bearer. So in one time interview they asked this question, how many default EPS bearer UE may have. So that time please make it clear. One default EPS bearer per PDN, because there are many people who are taking to you, but reason they don't have the concepts, they don't know the perfect answers. So it might be confusion between you and the person who is taking to you, because maybe suppose if they are knowing three, so it will be confusion for you. If suppose they know each UE will have only one default EPS bearer, even though it will create the miscommunication between you and them. So better clearly said, each UE will have one and only one default EPS bearer per PDN. So in this case, if UE connected with all three PDNs, so at max, UE may have three default EPS bearer at max. But condition, at that time UE must register with all three PDN types. Why? Because it's quite obvious. See, maybe internet is using the different addressing scheme, say IPv4, for example. IMS using the IPv6. For example, I'm telling, say it's using the dual mode IPv4 v6. So different addressing scheme then require the different bit. Some addressing scheme require the 64 bit, some addressing scheme require the 128 bit, some addressing scheme require the 32 bit. So in this case, obviously each default EPS bearer will have the different properties. So it's compulsory with each PDN type, when your UE will be connected, they will have different default EPS bearer. But compulsory each UE will have one default EPS bearer per PDN. Now on the top of this default EPS bearer, whenever is required, you may get the additional dedicated bearer. If it required, might be possible no dedicated bearer, might be possible one dedicated bearer, might be possible more than one dedicated bearer. Depends upon your requirement. Again, dedicated bearer can be modified. Just what I said, maybe when you have more services, suppose using the live streaming here, you're playing live online game, now you want to download the movie. It might be possible this D2 only upgraded, which will carry the live online game plus you're downloading the movie. So your dedicated bearer can be upgraded, means can be modified, can be released, depends upon the services. One sir, please. So the sound is coming. Yes, Ashutosh, can you please mute? So it can be modified, it can be released, and each dedicated bearer, because suppose this on this default bearer, dedicated bearer is mapped. So each default EPS bearer will have unique ID. And this dedicated bearer will map with the default EPS bearer. Each default EPS dedicated bearer will map with the default EPS bearer. That is called the linked bearer ID. Each dedicated EPS bearer will be mapped with default EPS bearer, and that is called link bearer ID. Why? Because when the different types of services are coming, suppose here at a time user is using the live streaming, same time suppose you're downloading the movie, whatever. So this downloading is going to dedicated bearer 2. This live streaming data is going to D1. So this data should not mismanipulate the another bearer, means whatever the data is traffic is required to transmit on this bearer, it should follow the dedicated bearer 1 only. Whatever the data related to downloading the movie, that should follow the dedicated bearer 2 only. So how? So each this data will be transmitted based on this link bearer ID. Each link, this D1 with the default, D2 with the default. Suppose you are now using the VoLT services, then second default bearer will have D3 dedicated bearer. This might be possible if second default bearer, suppose right now you're using the VoLT IMS. While using the IMS, suppose if you're using some services, if dedicated bearer required here for this default TPS bearer, then it will be allocated. If it is not required, it might not be located. Yes, if whatever required should become the D3, the third dedicated bearer. So now obviously whatever the services now you're using with the IMS, so those services should come on this D3 na? So how traffic will know that I should go on D1 or D2 or D3, because your UE1 mobile is using all the traffic at the same time. That's why link bearer ID is required. That is the linked. D3 is linked with this default. So whatever their VoLT services, that will go on this D3. Because each traffic will have that bearer ID, so it will follow the correct bearer. It should not be manipulated by the different bearer. So this is your story of the default EPS bearer and the dedicated EPS bearer. Now coming back to the LT channels, so as we have seen in the protocol stack architecture, RLC is carrying your higher layer informations. Higher layer informations means, now please understand very clearly. RLC layer is carrying signaling informations from higher layer, means RRC and NAS. RRC and NAS is only in the control plane, that's getting only signaling information, means we are telling that is a layer 3 messages. Means RLC layer receiving the layer 3 messages plus user traffic information what PDCP layer is receiving from the user's device. So PDCP layer transmitting the user's information to the RLC layer plus your higher layer means layer 3 messages. Those higher layer messages means layer 3 messages as well as the user information what PDCP layer is transmitting, that RLC layer will receive, and this information will transmit it to the MAC layer. How? By using the logical channels. Between RLC and MAC there is a logical channel. So one thing is very clear here. We will see there will be some logical channels. Between RLC and MAC, general type is logical channels. Between MAC and physical, general types, transport channel, physical channels. These are three different types of channels: logical channel, transport channel, and the physical channel. These are the three different types of channels in LT. Now, logical channels if you'll see what I said, the RLC layer has to transmit the signaling information what they receive from the higher layer and the user traffic informations. Means there must be some logical channel which will carry the layer 3 messages, means only signaling information, and there must be some different types of logical channel which will carry the user traffic information. So logical channel is further divided into two parts. Logical control channel and logical traffic channel. Same story here, transfer control traffic to carry the signaling information, user information. Physical channel, two types, physical control channel and the physical data channel. But the purpose of each channels, if you can see in the protocol stack architecture, your RLC, MAC, physical. These layers belong in both control and user plane. So these layers will carry the higher layer signaling information. Signaling is, again I'm repeating, that is layer 3 messages, as well as the user's traffic information. So logical channel, this is a logical channel. So logical channel will define, if you want to define the logical channel, so logical channel will define what kind of information, means whether it's a control information or whether it's a user traffic information. So logical channel will define what kind of information is transmitted. That is the meaning of logical channel. Transport channel will actually define how this information has to transmit. How the information will be transmitted. Because look here in the diagram. First, RLC will define if this is signaling information, this is user traffic information, they will transmit to the MAC layer. Now, MAC layer job is to define how this information will transmit. How this information will transmit is, suppose, depends upon your amount of information, whether signaling or user traffic, whatever. It's the MAC layer job who will request the resource from the E node view. Okay, I have this much amount of data, this much of amount of signaling information. So please allocate me the resource to transmit that information. Then E node will allocate the resource. It is the E node job who will always allocate the resource to you for your transmission. Suppose one user has to transmit the 5 KB data. They have right now 5 KB information. Another user has to transmit the 5 MB information. So obviously network has to allocate the different resource for this different user. Depends upon your volume of the traffic. So, but how network will know how much traffic you have to transmit? So it's the MAC layer who will inform. So like this, there are so many functionality that MAC layer has to perform to inform the network to allocate the correct amount of resource. So whatever the informations higher layer is transmitting, it's the MAC layer who will define how this information has to transmit to the physical layer. So logical channel define what kind of information, transport channel define how this information will transmit, and then physical channel, as I said, this is on air interface, that will actually carries your all the higher layer information, means whatever the signaling information is coming layer to layer, user traffic information, these informations transmit over the Air interface means physical channel is carrying your higher layer information over air interface. Physical channel carries higher layer information over air interface. Now we'll see these channels in details. See, the simplest way to understand logical channel, transport channel, physical channel, I'm just telling one simple example. Suppose when you're shifting your home from one location to another location, suppose in your home you have clothes, you have refrigerator, you have AC, you have all the different types of your official documents, laptop, like your bed. So you have so many things that you have to transmit. So this is your, suppose your signaling and traffic, for example. Signaling means suppose your laptop, that is your actual traffic, and the back of your laptop, that is signaling, that is protecting your traffic. Suppose your mobile, that is actual traffic, the box within the mobile you bought, that is your signaling. This is protection bit. Suppose your clothes, that is actual traffic. Poly bag in which you bought your clothes, that is your the signaling. Means you can say the protection bit. So when you have to transmit your information, means your luggage, it's a you logically defining it. This is signaling, this is traffic. Next, you call the movers packers, that is transport channel. Because already you have the one insurance agreement between you and the third party, means that movers packer, that is their job. They have to transmit all of your luggage properly from one location to another location. If any damage, he or she is responsible. So you please sit quietly, let them do their job. So it's their job, means movers packers will define how this data should be transmitted without any damage. So he will or she will understand, okay, suppose this is the refrigerator, so here it require more protection bit, it's very prone, it can be damaged. Suppose this is your TV, it should be transmitted very properly. Okay, suppose this is your kitchen box, so it requires the less protection bit. That is the movers packer's job. He will understand. Suppose your clothes, that does not require more protection bit. Say in one poly bag he will pack. So he's making the different packets. In one big packets they will write the kitchen. So in that all the kitchen thing will transmit. One thing they will write the electronics thing, suppose your all the electronic thing will be transmitted. In one box they will write the suppose clothes. So all the clothes information will be transmitted. Same story will happen with the MAC layer. When the MAC layer will receive information from higher layer, so they will transmit the multiple packets to the physical layer. Similar kind of information they'll make one box. Another similar kind of information they will make with another box. Like this, MAC layer have to transmit. So it's a mover packer who is defining that how this information has to be transmitted. So they make all the different packets. Now transport channel job over. Then this packet has to be transmitted on the truck which will carry your this luggage. That is your physical channel that is carrying your information, all the higher layer information. Means you suppose your luggage was your higher layer information. Now your truck is carrying this information over the air interface. So that truck is just like your radio frame that will contain your higher layer information, and then it will transmit over air interface. So depends upon your radio frame capacity. In future I'll teach you the radio LT frame architecture. So when is a physical layer have to transmit the information over air interface, As I said, physical will transmit the information over air interface to the E node B, or if it is downlink information, then E node B physically will transmit to the UE physical layer over the physical channel. So all these higher layer informations, means your signaling, higher layer signaling of traffic, will transmit over air interface. So we need some box or some packet where this higher layer information will be packed. That is your actually hypothetical concentration called the radio frame. So in this radio frame, your all higher layer information will be filled. That's why you will see in every technology, whether it's a GSM, GPRS, UMTS, LTE, every will see the frame architecture. Different technology will have different frame architecture. GSM will have the one frame having the 8 time slots. In UMTS, one frame will have 15 time slots. LTE will have the 20 time slots. So we'll see that frame architecture later on after the channel. So this frame will contain your all the higher information. Means within the frame, your higher layer information will fill. So this radio frame is your truck that is carrying your higher information and transmitted to the next destination. Now next destination, again to each packets, name has written. So this is kitchen thing, this is clothes, this is your electronic thing. So if suppose your mom is waiting in the receiver side, so they can understand if they now want the clothes related thing, they can directly open this box. If they need the kitchen related thing, they will open the kitchen related box. So same story, same way I'll teach you when I'll teach the MAC layer, their functionality. So actually in similar way, MAC layer will start their operations. So MAC layer transmit how the information will transmit, and then physically will transmit the actual information over air interface. But this thing I say in the simple story, but now we have to say their technical details. So logical channel we understood, we need the two different types of channel, logical control channel, logical traffic channel. What is the use of logical control channel? Logical control channel is carrying the layer 3 messages. Logical control channel is carrying layer 3 signaling, means messages. Layer 3 means this is your RRC layer and NAS message. Logical traffic channel is carrying the user traffic information. Users traffic information. So now we'll see what are the different types of logical control channel, what are the different types of the logical data channel. So logical channel. Just now we said there are two different types of logical control. There are two different types of logical channel. I said it's a logical control channel and logical traffic channel. What is the purpose of logical control channel? It will carry the signaling information. So we'll see there will be different types of the signaling information. RS will create so many signaling messages. So depends upon their functionality. There are different types of logical control channels. So in logical control channel, now we have to discuss about these channels. First one is the broadcast control channel. Second one, so broadcast common control channel. Broadcast common control channel. Paging control channel. इसमें ठीक है, आपसे कंट्रोल ब्रॉडकास्ट कंट्रोल चैनल कर दो, पेजिंग कंट्रोल चैनल, थर्ड वन कॉमन कंट्रोल चैनल, fourth one dedicated control channel, fifth one multicast control channel. These are the logical control channels that we have to understand very clearly. So this is very important for your entire course. We don't have to remember the concept. We have to actually understand in which case which channel will be used. So these are the logical control channel, means one thing is clear, that these channels will definitely carry some of the RRC messages. This is used to carry the higher layer messages. So definitely these channels, because I said clearly logical control channel will carry the higher layer message, means your RRC next message. So these layer will carry the RRC message, that is sure. So this is control channel. Then traffic channel, which will carry your traffic informations. So for that we'll study about the first one, multicast traffic channel. This is not that much useful. Why? Because your 99% traffic will transmit on this channel. Channel number 2, what I'm telling, dedicated traffic channel. So these are the different logical channels we'll see. After then we'll see about the transport channel and physical channel. So now we'll start one by one. So first, your logical control channel is the broadcast control channel. So you can do the now heading, logical control channel. In that, in logical control channel, first channel what we are going to discuss, that is the broadcast control channel. That is the BCC. It's called more popularly BCC, broadcast control channel. So as I said, each logical control channel, the purpose of each logical control channel is to carry the RRC layer messages. So obviously BCC will also carry some of the RRC message. So BCC is carrying the broadcast messages, means network has to broadcast the system information to the multiple mobiles. So this system information will be broadcasted over the broadcast control channel. Means what I'm telling, suppose you're developing the Apple handset in US, how can you understand the system related information of the Airtel in India? One second, one second. One what is your what is the frequency at which bandwidth network is operating. So suppose in LTE we have the bandwidth. So how they can write all these things in program advanced. So what will happen? These information will transmit as a variables. Means say, why is this? Now is it okay? Is it fine, Ankit? Okay. So what will happen? What I'm telling, when you're developing your protocol stack in your handset side, in any company you're working, suppose Samsung Korea, Apple US. So that time, how you will understand the system related parameters, system information related parameter of the network side means what are the system information related parameter in the Reliance Jio or Airtel, how they can write the program for all these parameters. So that's why I said during the demo session, all these developer have to refer the common standard, that is 3GPP. That 3GPP will define actually at which time, which system information will transmit, what is the content of each system information. Means there will be some system informations who will contain your PLMN related parameter. There will be some system information which will contain the cell related parameter. There will be some system information which contain the handover related parameter. So that's why each this kind of information will categorize under one as a different types of the system information block. And then their program will be designed in a mobile side, network side. So whenever those scenario will be triggered or timing will be triggered, network will keep transmitting those system information. We'll see each system information and their content. But right now we discuss only about channel. We are not going to discuss right now about the system information. That is the task in the layer 3, because this is layer 3 task. So in layer 3 we'll see each system information and their content. So it's a E node B job, especially more particularly you can say it's a E node B RRC job, which will keep transmitting their system informations, which will broadcast their system information in the cell to their multiple UE, so that UE will read those system information. By reading those system information, suppose mobile have to perform the handover, so mobile read the handover related parameter from this E node B because they broadcast it. So now UE can understand. Suppose, for example, one simple example I'm telling you, your LT is operating at the different bandwidth. LT can operate at 1.4 megahertz. This is LT operating band. LT operating bandwidth 1.4 megahertz, 3 megahertz, 5 megahertz, 10 megahertz, 15 megahertz, 20 megahertz. Suppose these are the different LT operating LT operating bandwidth. So now understand one thing. Once your mobile switch on, definitely will communicate with some E node Bs. So how your mobile will understand, because your mobile protocol stack will develop for all this bandwidth. So this is the supporting bandwidth in LTE. So definitely the developer in the UE side, they will write all this program, all the bandwidth which should be supported by your protocol stack. But now the important question is that when your mobile switch on, register means latching with the network, communicating with the E node B. So how your mobile will understand at which operating bandwidth this current E node B is working. Because Apple developer who is working in US, they don't know in Delhi this particular location E node B is operating at which bandwidth. That is not their job, that he should know each and every E node B's bandwidth. But one thing that developer is knowing, your protocol stack test engineer developer, one thing you knowing, in anywhere across the world, anywhere, whatever it not be, they may operate any of this bandwidth only. So that program has written in the UE side, that has tested in UE side, okay, this can operate at any of this bandwidth. But now the important question is that how UE will know. But both have to synchronize this E node which is operating at any of this bandwidth. So that E node network will transmit through the again broadcast system information. So this is one example I'm telling you. Suppose the E node B with which you're going to latch, how you will know if this E node B belongs from Reliance or Airtel? So that is called the PLMN related informations. So that will transmit in another system information block. So network will transmit the multiple different types of system information blocks. Each block is having a different types of informations. It is the E node B job, who E node B RRC, who will broadcast the system information to the UERRC. This is layer 3 message broadcast system information. This is layer 3 message, downlink message, because it's a network who will broadcast. So this is a E node B RRC job who will broadcast the system information, and then UE will decode. So what is your PLM, what is the bandwidth? It is a network who will broadcast and UE will read, and UE will understand, okay, right now this E node is operating at 3 megahertz or 5 megahertz, whatever. But as I said, here there are multiple different types of system information that network has to broadcast. Just now I said ki handover related parameter, your cell related parameter, PLMN related parameter. Just now I said suppose this bandwidth related issues. So in your system information will be transmitted in different hierarchies. We have the system information arrangement hierarchies. What is the hierarchies? How the E node is transmitting the system informations? That hierarchy is like parent and child. Your parent is the MIB, that's called the master information block. And under one MIB, there will be multiple different types of the SIB, system information block. SIB 1, 2, 3, like this. And again said, I'll see more details in ULP see. So each MIB means parent is MIB. Under one MIB, there will be multiple different types of the SIB, and each different types of SIB will have different parameter. Means suppose your SIB1 is having the, see, suppose your MIB having the, just I say this example, suppose at which bandwidth network is operating, so that information will transmit in the MIB. Which PLMN, that will transmit to SIB1. So we'll see later on each SIB and MIB content, what are the parameters will transmit the different types of block, but it is not right now our concern. But one thing we understand, this MIB SIB is known the broadcast system information that will be transmitted by the E node B RRC. So this is the your RRC message, broadcast system information is RRC message. And what I said in the beginning of the protocol stack class, whatever the RRC message your RRC layer will create, whether it's a UE RRC will create or E node B RRC will create, that does not matter. Suppose right now RRC create RRC message, for example, you create the, right now E node B RRC create the broadcast system information message, suppose, for example. So that is your RRC layer created, but this message has to be transmitted. Just I'm telling, the E node B RRC will transmit to the UE RRC, but from the first one class I'm telling you, first day one, your STU and PDU. That concept I will not keep repeating. I hope now we'll understand. I am telling E node B RRC to UE RRC, it will transmit, but directly that cannot transmit. Actually, day one only, you are seeing the call flows and all these things. But in call flow, what you see, UE to E node B to MME, the message is transmitting, but like that it cannot transmit. How it will transmit? Try to understand. E node B create the broadcast message, and already explained so many times. So thus now RRC will transmit to the lower layer. It will transmit to the PDCP. Then PDCP will transmit to RLC. How PDCP, RRC will transmit to the PDCP, PDCP to RLC through the bearers, and RLC to MAC through the logical control channel, because I said logical control channel will carry the RRC message. So this is your first message, broadcast system information. This is layer 3 message. It is transmitted on which channel? Your BCCH, broadcast control channel, because I say the bottom line, this is not the only one logical control channel. There are so many logical control channel, but purpose of each logical control channel is the same. Logical control channel will carry the layer 3 message. Simple rule. You will always remember any channel, but definitely they will carry the RRC message. So broadcast control channel carrying the RRC message. Which RRC message? That is your broadcast message. Broadcast system information. E node B RRC will transmit, and this broadcast system information will transmit on which channel? BCCH. Is it clear? So that's why broadcast control channel, it is a downlink channel. First point, it is downlink channel. Second point, it's carrying the system information. Third point, it's very important about your power saving mode, how your UE power will be saved. That will continue from tomorrow. So still not completed, because BCCH and PCCH, broadcast control channel, paging control channel, so many information required. So we'll continue tomorrow. So channel, hopefully 3 classes means 2 days, tomorrow, then day after tomorrow. Then all the 3 different types of channel will understand. Once you channel understand, then clearly understand your flow of informations, any layer 3 messages, traffic, how it is transmitting from higher level to lower level. Okay, Abid? Can we say bye?
Hi, sir. Beside Akash.
So we'll see tomorrow same time.